Alright guys, so very interesting information. We have the whole entire list of the Madden pre-order bonus, the standard edition or the Hall of Fame edition. The pre-order bonus, the elite players you get to choose from for each single team. With that in mind though, we have a like goal for this video guys. Can we smash 75 likes? Question of the day is going to be, make sure you go ahead and comment down below and tell me which player you're going to choose, if you're going to choose your actual NFL team, or if you're not, if you're going to choose another player. And also, Chris Snow, shout out to you for saying EA Access should be available on PS4 too. Sadly, PS4 does not have a deal worked out like Microsoft does. So, this is the list of players that you get to choose from. One guaranteed elite player from your favorite NFL team. So, starting at the top, these are the players: Rob Gronkowski, LaShawn McCoy, Devontae Parker, Leonard Williams, Le'Veon Bell, CJ Mosley, AJ Green, Myles Garrett, Marcus Mariota, Leonard Fournette, Deshaun Watson, Andrew Luck, Kareem Hunt, Von Miller, Joey Bosa, Amari Cooper, Carson Wentz, Sean Lee, Josh Norman, Landon Collins, Harrison Smith, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, Jordan Howard, Michael Thomas, Luke Kuechly, Julio Jones, Mike Evans, Russell Wilson, Todd Gurley, David Johnson, and finally, the GOAT, Jimmy G. So guys, those are the players you get to choose from for your one guaranteed elite player from your NFL team. So for example, if you want to go ahead and pre-order the standard edition, same concept applies. Standard or Hall of Fame edition. Now, with that in mind though, what player should you choose at the beginning of Madden, right? So you're just starting off Madden and you're like, you know what, fluff getting my favorite player on my favorite team. I want to get someone who is going to be the best for me day one. Now, going through all these players, in my opinion, the best player day one would most likely be, I would always want to get a good running back, right? I've stressed that enough when I said you guys should get Terrell Davis when it comes to, your GOAT player for next year. But the issue is, EA really lacks the speed on a lot of these players. Last year, I chose Zeke Elliott, and Zeke Elliott had 82 speed, which really made him useless after about a week into the game, right? And there was also players who had, 80 or 88, 90 speed. That was less than, that were really cheap, and I could go and pick them up. So, I wouldn't go with a halfback. I wouldn't go with Jordan Howard. I wouldn't go with any of these halfbacks. So, who should you go with? Carson Wentz, in my opinion, Marcus Mariota. I would go with a quarterback. Preferably, I would go with a quarterback that can move around a little bit, like a Carson Wentz or Marcus Mariota. Personally speaking, I would probably go ahead and go with Aaron Rodgers just because of throw power. I feel like based on playing Madden 19, the biggest thing you have is going to be accuracy. You want an accurate quarterback. You want a quarterback that can deliver the passes where they're supposed to be. And when I say Madden 19 is really important with that, guys, I can't stress that enough. If you have an inaccurate quarterback, your passes aren't going to go anywhere to where you want them to go. So you have to really understand how important a quarterback accuracy is in Madden 19. With that in mind, though, if you do not want to go quarterback, other options would be trying to get a user player. For example, CJ Mosley, great user beast, definitely could help you out day one, especially if you're playing online to try to get some user interceptions. Landon Collins, Sean Lee. I think Sean Lee might have a little bit slower speed, so maybe not as great of a user. Other than that, though, you could go ahead and go with Von Miller as a pass rusher, but personally speaking, I would probably stick to just a quarterback or a user. Again, most likely these players are going to be 80 overalls. They're not going to have these juice stats. Their stats are going to be freaking awful, to say the least. So you really want to go ahead and try to just pick a player that can fit on your team and be someone where it's not going to be a liability against you. So, for example, a quarterback, Carson Wentz might have 85 throw power, 80 throw short, 80 throw middle, 80 throw deep, and that's going to be serviceable for the first couple weeks of Madden, right? Based on my studies and based on playing with different players, it seems like as long as you have 80 plus 80s around the board, you are pretty much fine when it comes to your quarterback. So So I would go ahead and, again, go with either Wentz, Rodgers, Marcus Mariota. I think Marcus Mariota might have a little bit accuracy issues, so I'd probably go with Wentz or Rodgers in my opinion. But again, if you want to, you can also try to go ahead and get yourself a user beast to help you out day one. Now, for example, like CJ Mosley, he would be a great user beast, but he's going to have like 80 speed, which is going to make him really a liability on defense. So it all depends on what you want to do, guys. But personally speaking, I might just go ahead and say fluff it and just go with CJ Mosley because I am a Ravens fan. But if I wasn't going CJ Mosley, if I had to choose one player on this list right here, it would definitely be Aaron Rodgers. I chose him last year, and I'm probably going to go ahead and choose him again for this list just because he is, in my opinion, one of the best choices. He always, even if he's an 80 overall, he's still going to have a lot of throw power, and he's still going to have some good accuracy. He's not going to have as much speed and mobility, which is going to go ahead and help him get better accuracy stats and better throw power stats. But again, I'd love to hear down below, guys, which of these players are you going to choose for your Madden 19 roster day one? Honestly, any of these guys are amazing choices. I'm kind of wondering if they're just choosing random players. Just a side note here. I'm kind of wondering if they're choosing random players to go ahead and, for random teams. Because it's funny how last year, there's some players last year I saw and I'm like, oh my God, how did they not choose, this guy or that guy? And then this year I'm like, oh, hey, look, Rob Gronkowski is the Patriot. Which last year I believe it was Edelman. If I do remember correctly, it was Julian Edelman. So I'm guessing that, maybe they thought, okay, well, next year we're going to make it Rob Gronkowski. So it's going to be interesting to see who they make it next year. I don't think it would be Tom Brady. I think it will be a different player altogether. Nonetheless, though, LaShawn McCoy. Devontae Parker is kind of sad because I kind of feel like Miami got rid of all the great players. So, obviously they got rid of Landry. Ryan Tannehill is now coming off of injury. But I don't know, to offense fans, tell me down below, how good is Devontae Parker? Is he really that great? I know this year I saw projections of him getting 800 yards and 8 touchdowns. I don't know how realistic that is, but with that in mind, Leonard Williams, definitely amazing pass rusher for the defense. Le'Veon Bell, one of the best halfbacks in the game. I believe last year it was Antonio Brown as the Steelers guy. I know last year Terrell Suggs, T-Sizzle, was the Ravens, and I did not choose him, which I guess discredits my Ravenhood. And then, of course, A.J. Green, Myles Garrett. Again, I'm trying to think of who was it last year. I cannot remember who last year was the Browns guy. Which, again, Browns this year, I'm calling it, guys, 8-8 for the Cleveland Browns. They're gonna be good this year, definitely. And then Jaguars last year was Blake Bortles. Texans last year was DeAndre Hopkins, I believe. I think Andrew Luck was the last year's guy too, if I'm correct, because of the fact everyone thought he was going to come back week 1 and play. Obviously, that did not happen, and he was hurt. I believe last year was Travis Kelce for the Chiefs. Again, a lot of these guys, I'm just guessing. I don't know. I'm just going to go ahead and take shots in the dark here to who these players might be. Von Miller, I believe last year, if I'm correct, it was Von Miller. Obviously, it wasn't Joey Bosa last year. It's Phil Rivers. No, Keenan Allen. Either Keenan Allen or Phil Rivers. And then, of course, let me go ahead and let's see if I can pull up last year. Let me type this in so we can just take a look at these, because trying to go off the top of my head is definitely not, not the best thing to do. Let me go ahead and see what we got last year. Again, I believe some of them I did get correct. You guys can comment down below and tell me, like, oh, you got this guy correct, or you got that guy correct. Because a lot of these players, I think some are going to be the same, and then some are going to be different. So let me see. All right, so here is the list, guys, of last year. Just a quick comparison of what we had last year. Let me go ahead and pull this up for you guys. There we go, and here we go, guys. So this is last year's. This picture is a little bit blurry, I know. Sorry, guys, I know that picture is crap. But pretty much, looking at the top of the list, it's not in the same order, but who was the Texans guy last year? Texans, this picture is freaking awful. Let me see if I can get a better picture. I think I just got to do this. Hang on. All right, there we go. got a better picture. So last year, our Texans guy was, where's the Houston Texans? Oh, J.J. Watt. So J.J. Watt was last year. This year is going to be Deshaun Watson. We had David Johnson last year for the Cardinals. David Johnson again. Julio Jones again. Jordan Howard again. Who's the Cowboys guy this year? The Cowboys guy is Sean Lee. Last year was Zeke Elliott. Von Miller's the same. Terrell Suggs, as I said, instead of C.J. Mosley. AB instead of Le'Veon Bell. So I did get a lot of these guys correct on my guesses for some of these players. Muhammad Wilkerson, now it's Leonard Williams. AJ Green's the same. Andrew Luck was the same, as I said. Odell Beckham. And then this year it's going to go ahead and be, where are you, Giants? Landon Collins. So again, that's last year's, guys. This is this year's. Very exciting. Again, tell me down below who you're going to choose for your free elite player. I'd love to hear it. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.